Chapter 22. Scared in the Dark. Jake clutched the sides of his head, rocking back and forth. Nothing remained but the chilling dark and the gleaming inhuman smile. The voice that filled him wasn't a voice at all, more a guttural vibration that rattled through his bones, reverberating like a storm beneath his skin. The vision hung at a distance but pressed closer with every heartbeat, as if drawn towards him. Panic hijacked his mind, his body stayed rigid, but his consciousness scattered in 20 directions at once. Like startled birds, each fragment sought escape, only to be herded back, corralled as if by wolves into the prison of his true self. And there was something else, lurking beyond the black, tethered to him, yet apart, a shape he couldn't quite see or grasp. It felt like a part of him lost outside his body, pacing, calling to the hidden thing, even as Gent's rumbling maw surged closer. Nothing answered. The smile bore down, Jake's chest locked, lungs refusing to work. Terror froze him in place, until the moment itself froze within him. Time stuttered. Everything halted. At first, it was only Jake and his fear, stretched into eternity. Slowly, he recognized that the presence outside him wasn't foreign at all. It was him, maybe the real him, something deeper than flesh or thought. The revelation cracked open his vision. What followed wasn't sight in any human sense, it was certainty, awareness. He saw Gent in the real world, the detective's cruiser prowling towards his house, the same monstrous grin radiating outwards, resonating in Jake's chest like a brass note too deep to endure. And with that certainty came realization. He had been thinking too small. His limits had never been where he thought. He shut all of his eyes to the clawing dark Gent used against him. Not blinked, but changed, reframed. The nightmare dissolved into something thin, transparent, a watermark, not the truth. A warning that Gent was near. Jake adjusted the opacity like a filter, dialing it back until the menace seemed almost laughable. It wasn't power, it was theater, deception, and he didn't have to play along. Excitement surged. For a heartbeat, he felt godlike, as though he were editing reality itself. He twisted the rules of the perception Gent forced on him further. Power now appeared as luminous fields of color and motion, a language written in light. He couldn't yet read it, but he knew he would eventually. Subconsciously, he began to understand. He gave himself more, an awareness of every presence, every shift around him, a sense map of the world. It was overwhelming, but from this strange deep place, he tuned it like an instrument until it fit. He played there for what felt like forever, saw the cost of his powers, the reservoir within him, the drain each use carved from it. He hadn't even touched the surface before. Then he snapped back. The understanding spilled away like water cusped in his hands, most lost, some held, some etched into him forever. Gent's cruiser screeched to a halt in front of his house. Jake saw him storm to the front door, saw through walls and furniture as the detective barreled towards the kitchen, where Gent expected to find a cowering boy. There was only an empty space. His eyes widened in shock. Jake answered with a radiant grin of his own, not in flesh, but in thought. Gent turned slowly, scanning, realizing the truth. You can't hunt a seer who watches every move. Impressive, child, he said aloud, voice rough with grudging respect. But I'll still find you. He left as quickly as he had come. Jake's triumphant smile carried onto his real face. For the first time, Gent's shadow tricks hadn't touched him. He stretched his vision outward, summoning dozens of lives at once. Gent among them, but powerless to interfere this time. The city unfolded in him like a living circuit board. He flicked through strangers as if manning the control center of some endless game. His awareness spread across blocks, alleys, rooftops. He felt every detail. Butterflies over flowers, moles tunneling, the scuttle of rats in the crawl space, the sway of every breeze. His new sight was terrifying and beautiful.